Hello students, a very warm welcome to all of you. So today in this video session we are going to discuss about the topic which name is measure of central tendency. Now basically in the chapter of measure of central tendency we are going to cover three main topic. One is mean, another one is median and the last one is mode. Now the mean is further classified into three types: arithmetic mean, geometric mean and the harmonic mean. So here we are going to start with the arithmetic mean. So in the arithmetic mean there are two types of case. The first one is the simple arithmetic mean, where only the observation data will be given to you, no frequency data regarding to observation data is provided. And another one is weighted arithmetic mean. Weighted means where the frequency data will be provided to you. So the another case one, simple arithmetic mean, it is defined like that: if x1, x2, x3 up to xn be the observation of n sample values. Now x1, x2, x3, xn are the observations of how many of n sample values, then the arithmetic mean, which is generally denoted by x bar, is defined as x bar equals to summation of all the observation data, that is x1 plus x2 plus x3 up to xn, which is divided by the number of observations. Here the number of observation is small n, or in case we can write in this way also, that x bar equals to summation over x, where this notation is called as summation, is pronounced as summation of x divided by n. So this is the formula for the simple arithmetic mean. Now for the case 2, that is a weighted arithmetic mean. Now case 2, that is a weighted arithmetic mean. Now basically in weighted arithmetic mean, as I said, frequency distribution will be provided to you. That means suppose x data is given to you, x1, x2 up to xn. With respect of that, frequency is given to you, f1, f2 up to fn. So first of all, what we have to find, we have to find their product. That is, we have to find f into x, that is multiplying them, f1 into x1 for the first one, for the second one f2 into x2 and so on, fn into xn. Then we have to add them all, that means summation over, we have to find their addition, that means summation over fx. Adding them all, we will get a number. Similarly we will add all the frequencies, summation over f, and we will get a number. So in case of weighted arithmetic mean, the formula is like that: x bar, which is the notation for arithmetic mean, equals to summation over fx divided by summation over f. This is the formula in case of weighted arithmetic mean. So these are the two basic formula for arithmetic means. One was for simple arithmetic mean and another one was for weighted arithmetic mean. So now we are going to solve some questions by using these formulas. Okay, so the first question is very simple question. We have to find the arithmetic mean from the given table. Now what is the table here? Here x data is given to you, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and the last one 60, and in respect of that frequency is provided to you, 6, 4, 6, 12, 8, 4. Now we have to find arithmetic mean and frequency is given to you. That means this comes in the category of weighted arithmetic mean. So first of all we have to find, according to the formula, f into x for the solution part. That means multiplying these two. So that means after multiplying these two we will get, so after multiplying we get this. Now what we have to do, we have to simply add them, summation over fx. So after adding them using the calculator part, we will get 1440, and then we have to add summation over f, summation over f. After adding we will get 40. So now we have to use the arithmetic mean formula. X bar equals to, the formula is summation over fx divided by summation over f. Summation over fx is your 1440 divided by 40, that give you 36. The answer is here 36. So clear about the question number 1? Very simple. Just according to the formula we have to construct the table. This is all about the statistics. Now next, now here we can focus that the data is simple. This type of data where only the x value is given in the integer form, that type of data is called a discrete data. That means this type of data are called as your discrete data. Okay, so now in the next question we will define another form of datas and we will find the arithmetic mean for that particular question. So now the question number 2. Okay, now the question number 2 is that find the arithmetic mean from the table class interval. Now class interval means, first of all we have to focus about the intervals here. Very important thing about the class interval. See how the class interval is in the form. First one is 0 to 10, second one is 10 to 20. So we focus from where it's end, from the same point it start. So this type of class interval where the ending point and the next one starting point are same, that type of class interval are called the continuous data. So that means this type of data are come under the continuous data. Okay, now continuous data, for continuous data the nature of the class interval is like that. If I am saying 0 to 10, that means under 0 to 10 that type of number will becomes which are either 0 or more than 0 but less than 10. Just focus on this number. In case of continuous data, that types of number will be included in the interval. For 0 to 10, for example 0 to 10 I am saying, so here that type of number will come which are either 0 or more than 0 but less than 10. If I am saying for the interval 10 to 20, in this class interval, as these are continuous data, the numbers will be like that. The numbers are either 10 or more than 10 but less than 20. Now what that means? Suppose you have many numbers from 0 to 100. You have so many numbers. You have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the numbers. Now we are defining the class intervals. Then you have after 10 you have 12, you have 14, you have 16, you have 18, you have 20, like that. Now we are defining the class interval. Class interval means, suppose I am writing here 0 to 10. So this is the class interval table. I am constructing a class interval table. Wait. I am constructing a class interval table. Class interval. And I am giving is like 0 to 10. Now my target is from 0 to 10, how many numbers are there? If this is my data, collection of datas. So how many numbers are there from 0 to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See what is 0 to 10 defined as? The number will be either 0 or more than 0 but less than 10. We will not count 10 in the class interval of 0 to 10. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to this. This all number will comes under the class interval of 0 to 10. How many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So total 9 numbers are there. Okay, this is a frequency. Now next 10 to 20. Now 10 to 20 is how is defined. The number will be comes under the class interval of 10 to 20 will be 10 or more than 10 but less than 20. We will not count 20 in this particular class interval 10 to 20. So how many numbers we have? 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18. So these are the numbers will comes in the class interval of 10 to 20. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So in this way the class interval are defined in the case of continuous data. Okay, so continuous data are also called the exclusive data. Exclusive. Here we are excluding this number, that's the boundary numbers, the upper limit numbers. That's why this is called the exclusive data. So continuous data, remember that continuous data, in the continuous data the class interval is defined in this way. The lower limit, this is called the lower limit, will be included but the upper limit will be excluded. Like this, 0 or more than 0 but less than 10. In case of continuous data the class interval is defined in this way. It is very important it will require when you are dealing with the questions like less than, more than, then you will find this helpful for constructing class interval tables. So now back to the question. The question class intervals are given in the continuous form as the ending interval and the next one starting intervals is same. So that's why this comes in the category of continuous data, and in respect of that frequency is given to you and we have to find the mean. So the formula of x bar is summation over fx divided by summation over f. So we know the f here, so the next thing is that we have to find the x. Now x in case of class interval is denoted by, is said as mid value, is known as mid value. Now the formula of the mid value is, the formula for the mid value is lower class plus upper class divided by 2. This is the formula for finding the x for each of the class interval. That means adding the two classes lower plus upper divided by 2. So we will use this formula for finding the mid values. So now let us start. 0 plus 10, 10, 10 divided by 2, that is 5. 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 2, 15. Similarly the next one, 20 plus 30, 50, that is divided by 2, 25. Now one thing you will focus that in case of continuous data, or here each class interval from starting to end, every class interval has the same difference, that is called the class length. That is difference between upper class minus lower class. 10 minus 0, 10, 20 minus 10, 10, 30 minus 20, 10. So each of the class interval has the same class length, 10. So in that particular case, whenever you will see that each data has the same class length, then you can simply, what can do, you can simply add that class length to next value of the x. That means just adding the class length. What is the class length? 40 minus 30, 10. Just 25 plus 10, 35. Next one, 45, 55. Or simply what we can do, just using the formula 60 plus 70, 130 divided by 2, that is 65. 75, 85. So we have just found the x. Now what we have to find? Next thing, we have to find the x fx. That is, we have to multiply these two. So we can simply multiply these two. After multiplying that two, we will, what we have to do, we will add the data summation over fx, and then we will add the frequency data summation over f, and then we will put in the formula of x bar, that is equals to summation over fx by summation over f, and after doing that we will get the answer 46.83. just check this one. So in this way to solve the arithmetic mean whenever the class interval is given to you, just simply find the mid value, then follow the formula, construct the table and put it in the formula of arithmetic mean. Simple. Now the next question. Now while calculating this, you will find that the calculation of this particular question is little bit big and you have to use the calculator. So there is an alternative way of solving this arithmetic mean questions. Whenever you will feel that the calculation is little bit big, you can use that method, alternative method, that method known as the step deviation method. Now what is all about the step deviation method? In the same way, question will be given to you, class interval, frequency will be provided to you. You have to find the x, that is a mid value, by using the formula. Now next what we have to find? We have to find here d. Now how is d is defined? D is defined is like that, x minus a divided by I. Now what is this all about a and I? X is your mid value, a and I. Here a is defined as assume mean. Assume mean is nothing but the middle number of x column. assume mean is nothing but the middle number of your x column. That means if you focus here in the x column, you will find that the middle number that is at the center of the data. How many data are there? Here total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9 data. So you will find that if you first data cancel, here first data cancel, last data cancel, 25, 65, 35, 45. Okay, so the middle number remains here 45. So 45 is the assumed mean. That is the middle number of the x column. And the I is defined as class length. Class length means upper class minus lower class. So if you can see that here each class interval has the same class length. That is, the difference is here 10. So the I is here 10. So finally what we get, D equals to x minus A is here 45 and I is here 10. So now we will put it in the table and find the values of D. Now for the first one, x is 5. Putting here 5 minus 45 minus 40 divided by 10 gives us minus 4. The next one is 15 minus 45 minus 30 divided by 10 minus 3. 25 minus 45 minus 20 divided by 10 minus 2. Similar way, minus 1. 45 minus 45 0. Then 55 minus 45 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have find that D. Now next what we have to find? We have to find FD. This alternative method is known as step deviation method. Okay. So now we have to find F into D. Very simple, just simply multiplying F into D. So be careful when you are multiplying F into D. Minus 4, 4 into minus 3, minus 12, 10 into minus 2, minus 20, then 22 into minus 1, minus 22, 13 into 0, 0, then 35 into 1, 35, 20, 21, and the last one 4. Then we have to simply add them. So add the positive one, first one, then subtract the negative one. So after doing that, we will get here, we will get 22. So we got summation over FD 22, summation over F 120. Now the main formula for step deviation method, you have to remember this formula. So the formula is for the step deviation method, x bar equals to A assume mean plus summation over FD divided by summation over F into I. This is the formula. You have to remember this formula. Now assume mean was your 45, summation over FD was 22 divided by 12, 120, summation over F, I is your 10, 0, 0 cancel, 45 plus, if you divide this you will get 1.83, and finally your answer is 46.83. Your answer will be same. Now which method you like, you can follow that method. If you like the normal general method, just simply multiply F into X and put it in the formula. That is also correct. If someone likes step division method, that is also correct. But I will suggest you stick with your one method only. Don't mix the two methods. Okay. So now the next type of questions in arithmetic mean. Okay, so now the next topic, that is the most important topic of your mean also, median also, as well as mode. That is finding of missing frequency. This finding of missing frequency, this type of question we have to solve in mean also, as well as median and mode, standard deviation, and the other topics also. This topic is important for the exam. So here what is the thing is that your frequency will be given to you and some of the frequency will missing, and you have to find that frequency. If one frequency is missing, then one information regarding that provided. If two frequency is missing, then regarding more information will be given to you in this way. So the question is that arithmetic mean of the following distribution is 67.45 inches. That means this distribution table has the arithmetic mean 67.45. So one hint is given to you, that is arithmetic mean is here 67.45. Find the value of F3. F3 is a frequency number 3. Now see the table. Height is given in this way: 60 to 62, 63 to 65, 66 to 68, 69 to 71, 72 to 74. And in respect of that, frequency is given to you: 15, 54, F3, that is the missing one. We have to find this missing one. Then 81, 24. Now first of all, focus on the class interval format. Class interval, this is just for the knowledge part. Nothing regarding to the question, just for the knowledge. 60 to 62. Next one, 63 to 65. So here what we can see, that the upper limit of the previous one and upper limit of here 63, these two are not same. And not same, that means this comes under the category of discontinuous data. So whenever you will find that the upper limit and the lower limit of the next one are not same, that comes into the discontinuous data. That is, one say, inclusive data. How inclusive? Here the data is defined in this way: 60 to 62, in this case of discontinuous, defined in this way: the collection of those numbers which are from 60 up to 62. That means here that types of data will be collected. These are 60 also, 61 also, as well as 62. This type of data will be collected in this class interval. The 60, 61, 62. Now 63 to 65 defined: collection of those data which are from 63 and ends at 65. That means 63, 64, for example, I am writing that examples. That types of data are collected in this class interval. So this is a difference between inclusive data. In inclusive data, the boundaries are included, both lower as well as upper. But in case of continuous data, that is exclusive data, in that exclusive, upper limit data are excluded. Got the difference? So now first thing is that these all are discontinuous. That means we have to make, it is not mandatory that in case of mean you have to make continuous. Remember that in case of mean, there is no mandatory that you have to convert discontinuous into continuous form. You can deal with discontinuous also. But in case of median, especially in case of median, you have to convert each discontinuous data into the continuous one. So here we have the choice that we can deal with this discontinuous data also, and we will get our correct answer. But whenever we are going to solve median, then in that particular case we have to convert discontinuous into continuous one. So we will deal there only. Let us left here for discontinuous way only. You will see the answer, there is no effect in the answer. So now basically what we have to find, the next thing we have to find the mid value. So here we have to find first of all x. X formula is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. 60 plus 62, 132 divided by 2, that is 61. Next one, 63 plus 65, 138 divided by 2, 128 divided by 2, that is 64. Next one, 67. Next one, 70. And the last one, 73. Now here we have two choice. Either we can go with that general method f into x, then also answer will come, or we can use the step deviation method. It is your choice. I will be using here step deviation because I have already seen that the data of x are in huge number and data of f also in huge number, so the multiplication will be little bit calculative. So for ignoring that, I will use the step deviation method here. So first of all, you have to find d equals to x minus a. D equals to x minus a by I. A means the assumed mean. Assumed mean is the middle number of the xth column. Okay, in the x column, what is the middle number? How many numbers we have here? Total 5 numbers. So the middle number, if you can see that easily, here the middle number is 67. So here is the A, 67 divided by I. So what is the I? What is the difference? Tell me what is the difference here. Here the difference is, many of you are thinking that difference means upper limit minus lower limit. Absolutely, different class length means upper limit minus lower limit, but that applicable only when the data is continuous, right? What is the data here? Discontinuous. So always you are seeing that 62 minus 60, 2, 65 minus 63, 2. No, here I is your class length is your 3. How? Okay, for that, okay, let us do one thing. Let us balance this one. Let us balance this class, discontinuous class, into the continuous one. Then you will get your answer how the I, that is class length, is 3. Okay, now how to balance? First of all, now the balance one is known as class boundary. Remember that after balancing the discontinuous data into the continuous one, that is known as class boundary. Now how to balance? Very simple. This is your lower limit. This was the first class interval, 60 to 62. What you have to do? Always, this is a fixed rule. We have to subtract minus 0.5 from lower class and add 0 plus 0.5 to the upper class. Always subtract 0.5 from the lower class and add 0.5 to the upper class. So subtracting 0.5 from the lower class, we will get here 59.5. Adding to upper class, we will get here 62.5. Subtracting here 63 from here 63, subtracting 0.5, we will get 62.5. Adding here, we will get 65.5. Subtracting here 66, we will get 65.5. Adding 0.5 to the upper class limit, we will get here 68.5. Now here subtracting 0.5 from the lower class, we will get 68.5 and here 71.5. And subtracting 0.5 from the lower class, we will get 71.5 and here 74.5. Now you can simply see that your discontinuous class interval has become continuous. The ending of the upper limit and the starting lower limit has become the same in each of the class intervals. So this becomes a continuous data. So see how to make continuous from discontinuous data. Just subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit and add 0.5 to the upper class limit. Okay, so now let us find the D. D is equals to x minus a, assume mean, that is, we have already said that 67, and I is your class length. I is your class length, and that definition is upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. That is, anyone 62.5 minus 59.5, that is 3, or anyone 65.5 minus 62.5, that is 3. So I is here 3. So remember one note from here: never find your I from your discontinuous class interval. You will get the wrong answer. If you try to find I from your discontinuous class interval, you will always get a wrong answer. Either convert them or just check from your x data. See what are the difference between each x data. 3 is the difference between each x data. X data will also give you the difference between each consecutive data of x, will give you the value of I. Second note, the difference between two consecutive data of x column will give you the value of I. So this is the I d equals to x minus 67 by 3. So let us find the d. For the first one, 61 minus 67, that is minus 6, divided by 3, that is minus 2. Now for the 64, putting here in the place of x, 64 minus 67, that is minus 3, divided by 3, that gives us 1. 67, putting here, 67 minus 67, 0. 70 minus 67, 3 divided by 3, that gives us 1. And finally 73 minus 67, 6 divided by 3, that gives us 2. Now next what we have to find, f into d. Where is our f? Here is our. Very careful about while multiplying. If you are not sure, just put your finger on the two columns, then multiply. Because maximum of the student what does in the exam, instead of multiplying f into d, they multiply d into x. This happens during the exam hall. So just for the warning, if you are not sure, just put the finger on the two columns, then try to multiply. Okay, 15 into minus 2, minus 30. 54 into minus 1, minus 54. f3 into 0, vanish 0. 81 into 1, 81. And 24 into 2, that is 48. Now next what you have to do is summation over fd. Summation over fd, after adding this all, we will get 45. Okay, now next what we have to add? We have to add summation over f. Summation over f, you will see that if you add them, there are out of 5 datas, 4 are the numbers and the rest is f3. So if you add 15 plus 54 plus 81 plus 24, you will get 174 plus f3 is unknown to us. We will write in this way. Adding the 4 datas, we will get 174 plus f3. So we from the table we get summation over f 174 plus f3, summation over fd equals to 45. Now just using the formula. Okay, now the calculation part. X bar equals to a plus summation over fd divided by summation over f into I. Okay, now read the question again. Arithmetic mean of the following distribution is 67.45. That means x bar is given to you. Let us put it here. 67.45 given to you. A, assume mean was your 67. Summation over fd we got 45. Summation over f we got 174 plus f3 into I is your 3. Now we have to simplify this and we have to find the value of f3. So first of all, let us take 67 to this side. 67.45 minus 67. 3 into 45, that is 15, 12, 135 plus f3. After that, we will get here minus 0.45. 135 divided by 174 plus f3. Now just doing the cross multiplication, that is 0.45 into 174 plus f3 equals to 135. That is, after that 0.45 into 174 gives you 78.30 just by using the calculator, plus 0.45 into f3, that is 0.45 into f3, and that side we have 135, that is 135. Now just 0.45 simplifying, taking this number from this side to that side, that is 135 minus 78.30, that is 0.45 f3 equals to 56.70. Finally your f3 will be 56.70 divided by 0.45, and it gives 126, which is your f3. So the missing frequency is here 126. Clear? Okay, now the next question. Okay, now one homework for you. The homework is that you have to find out the missing frequency of the following data. Now one thing is given that arithmetic mean is here 67.45, that means arithmetic mean is given to you, one hint, and the total number of students is 100. So the two information is given to you, one is total arithmetic mean and total number of students, that is this thing is your total number of student, means this is the total number of students, that is this is nothing but your frequency. So this is total, that means 100 is your nothing but summation over f. This is given to you. Another thing, arithmetic mean is given to you. Now what you have to find? You have to find out the missing frequency. Now what are the missing frequency here? Here A is the missing frequency, here B is the missing frequency. So see, one thing I have already said, that if two data is missing, then two extra data is given to you. So try this question, find out the value of A and B and tell me the answer in the next class. So this is for the all about for today. Today we are just learn about the basic concept of arithmetic mean and using the arithmetic mean formula, how to find the values of arithmetic mean, and as well as how to find the missing frequency. In the coming classes we will deal with the less than type table, and then further the next topic of this chapter, that is median and mode, we will try to cover that. Till then, watch this full video. If you have any doubt, then tell me, I will try to resolve that. So this is for today only. Thank you so much for watching this video. Goodbye.